Good morning, guys. Good to see you all here. Well done for turning up. Good morning, good morning. Let's have a look. I'm going to pop all the names of the people on my phone so I can see everybody who's here. I haven't done that quite yet. Let's have a look. Who have we got online? Hope you all had a wonderful weekend and got plenty of rest. Let's have a look. Who have we got? Right, good morning, Akib. Good to see you on here. Good morning, Mohammed Mikhail. Well done. Who else have we got here? Alawia, Alicina. Good morning, Ayub. Good to see you, Ayub. You can't still be going on about Xbox this, Xbox that. Dawud Islam. Good morning. Good to see you. Saeed, hi. Zubairul. Good morning. Good to see you. Good morning. Is that Zain? Morning, Mohammed M. Good morning, Omar. Yep. Hope you all did have a lovely weekend. Hi, Ahmad Saeed. Have I said that right? Is it Ahmad? Yes, Abdul Samad, good morning to you. Harris, good morning. Ayab, good to see you. Rita, hi. Ishmael A. Ayana, good to see you. Good morning. Who else have we got? Anas, good morning, Anas. Musa Khalil is here. Hi. Ramin, good morning. Good morning, Muna. Good to see you. Sorry, Muna. If the name's like that, I'm going to keep forgetting unless you pop your name at the end of the board, end of it each time. You might notice I'm in a slightly different classroom this morning. Let's see if I've got all of that sorted. Who else have we got here then? Dawud Islam. Tahira, good morning, Tahira. Good to see you. Yeah, Mahaymin, good to see you. Good morning. Ayub, you're going to have to leave it with this whole Xbox thing unless you've got a justification. Mohammed M. Ishmael A, good morning. Musa Khalil. Thanks. Oh, Ridwan, you got the laptops. That's really good. Guys, do remember if you're struggling at home with laptops to talk to the school, send an email in and let us know about it. Yep, Muna. Who else have we got? Good morning, everybody. Arif is here. Very good. When are we going to school, Ramin? Probably not for a long time. It does depend on the government. It's not really our choice here at school. I would love you all to be in right away, but unfortunately, we've got to wait for the government. Depends when everyone gets their vaccines, when we're safe enough to go out for COVID. That is what will decide it for us, really. So is that Mrs. Patterson's classroom? It's not Mrs. Patterson's classroom. We're actually in Mr. Moore's classroom today. You can tell because Mr. Moore's got the piano at the back of the room. So we're in Mr. Moore's classroom today. That's because I'm in school teaching year 5 and 6. So I've got my year 5, 6 class next door. So at some points, if I need to go out or anything, I'll need to go and help the other class with their work. They're just doing some of the Mrs. C lessons. Yeah, I had a lovely weekend. Thank you so much. Ava, good morning. Good to see you. Abdul, yeah, Mahaymin, of course. Good to see you. Can I go to school? Unfortunately not. Only children in special situations are able to come into school at the moment. So if you've got 2 parents, for example, who both work for the NHS, you may well be able to come in, or there might be other circumstances where you might be able to get in. 36 watching, that's good. We're not quite up to 10 o'clock though, so we're just going to hang on a little bit morning. Subhan, good morning, good to see you. Yeah, Tahira is probably right. It may not be till next time. It certainly won't be till after the half term. So we'll wait until half term and then we'll find out what the government says. Good morning to Khadija. Good to see you. Good, well done for going to Oxford Reading Buddy every day. It does look different. I am in a different classroom this morning. I'll show everybody that again in a bit. Who else have we got? Mustapha's here. 44 watching. We're up to 53 now, actually, which is really good. Ayan, Goni, good to see you. Good morning. Alicia, good morning. Ishmael A. Oh, sorry you had to do work at the weekends. Always good as well as working during the week to get a bit of rest at the weekends, if at all possible. Obviously, if you missed out on work during the week, then you need to catch up on it, don't you? Salah, good morning. Hassan. Yeah, lots of people still having problems with Oxford Reading Buddy. We're really sorry as a school. It isn't actually us. It's obviously Oxford's website. A lot of children are accessing it. What we have found is if it doesn't work the first couple of times, keep going. Normally by the 5th time that you refresh the page or keep going, it does sometimes work. So don't just give up because it doesn't work once. Oh gosh, so many people. Lutfa Begum, good morning. Yeah, Khadija, good to see you. Who else have we got? Yeah, well done. Oh. Khadija Mustafa Al-Bashir saying boring. What is boring? Your comment? I'm not sure. Who won the sweets? Meryl, good question. It was, tell you what, I'll go through that in a second. I've got it all written down, so we'll check on all that in the morning. Right, we're getting up to 10 o'clock. Ava, it's a good question why we're not in my classroom. I'll talk about that in a second. Good morning, Halima. Good morning, Shamin. Mia, good to see you. Good morning, Taba. Morning, Alicina. I've already seen you, haven't I? Aminul, good. Salah. Ishmael A. Not quite sure what you're commenting on. Boring. Always best in the chat, no matter what, how you're feeling, to only say positive things, though, isn't it? Not that it's going to offend me or upset me particularly, but there is that general thing that we tell people, isn't it? If you've not got anything nice to say, best just not to say anything. Yeah, the world is a better place if we just try and share positive thoughts and positive words. That's always the best thing to do. Yeah, Tabor did win the award. Well, it has got to 10 o'clock now. We've got 60 kids on. 61 is our kind of resting average, although I want to try and get up to 70 today. I do want to start by saying congratulations to Ava, who won the sweets. Congratulations to Ava. Tabor, who won some sweets, and also Anas won some sweets from the quiz last week. So many of you got on there and you did really well. And there was so many people I'd have loved to have given it out to. But what I'm going to do is I'm only going to give out 3 prizes each week. Okay. So I'll put another quiz on Friday. I'll come around and drop the sweets off. We need to make sure that we're doing it at good social distancing. So I'll drop the sweets outside the house and you come and collect them. But it was good to see all of you guys. And congratulations to those of you who won last week. Yeah, it would be lovely to come back to school, wouldn't it? Hey, Aiden, good to see you. Good morning. Yeah, and well done to those of you who did win the sweets. Don't worry, there'll be another competition this week. So, well done for being back on here. It's the start of another week. We need to make sure that we are focused on our work. We've still got those work packs that should have a little bit of work in it. Of course, those work packs will be coming to an end at the end of this week. So those of you in year 3, we're going to be starting some of those Mrs. C lessons, I think, next week. So that's what we'll be doing in our literacy. We have, a good number of children online. I saw 66 a second ago, although those numbers keep going up and down. If it does ever freeze or stutter or jam, I know some parents have said that sometimes it freezes. The best thing to do is to refresh the page. So you will see sometimes that there is a little swirly icon that looks a bit like this at the top. That will just refresh the page for you. Or sometimes you can just close the browser down and start it up again. I can see people asking about other classes. I know that this week, year 4 are going to be doing some live lessons at 11 o'clock. Mr. Moore is going to be testing that out. I know that Mr. Keeling is going to be doing some live lessons for year 2. Not every year is going to be doing it. We can't, unfortunately, provide for every year. Some teachers are ill. There's also the problem with houses don't have multiple devices. So it's quite hard if we can't have every class on at the same time, or else, who would get priority over that? Okay, so it's news time. I'm going to focus on this, try and stay positive. Well, some good news. Number 1, people are over 70 now are going to be getting letters asking them to come for the vaccine. So far, it's only been people over 80. We have been doing, as a country, now this is really impressive. I found this figure this morning, 140 jabs per minute. Right, that's more than 2 jabs per second have been given out in Britain so far. So we have really been working really, really hard to vaccinate as many people as possible. Once most people have been vaccinated, then they become safe from COVID. They can't catch COVID again. And then we can all go back out into the streets, go back to the cinemas, start shopping again, go to football matches, get back on with our lives, making sure that businesses are alive. So I thought that was just an amazing figure. 140 jabs per minute. That's more than 2 a second are being given out right now, people being jabbed. And it's going for people over 70 now. I did look as well. So far, there's been no major side effects from any of the jabs. Some people have had allergic reactions if they've already got allergies, but the NHS is working on ways around that already, which is really good news. So it is important if you do have allergies and you're going for a vaccine to let the NHS know exactly what they are. Hey, I found some really exciting news, and this was from a British man from this country who he is a very wealthy man. Let's see if I can find, I've got some pictures for this. Yes, there is a man, his name is Richard Branson. This guy here is a British man called Richard Branson. He's now Sir Richard Branson. He made his money with the company called Virgin. I don't know if anyone's heard of the company called Virgin. They have aeroplanes, records, mobile phones. They do television, broadband services. This guy's spread his company wings out to all things. This guy, by the way, he didn't do so well when he wasn't very rich when he was young. He made all of his money himself. He made it initially by selling music. He had a store to sell music to people. And then eventually he was into planes, things. He's now into rockets. And this rocket that he has made, known as the Launcher One, has just successfully launched. The reason this rocket is really important, instead of going from the ground, which uses loads and loads and loads of energy, he can launch this rocket from one of his Boeing 747 planes. So the plane gets up into the sky near the atmosphere, and then the rocket launches from underneath the plane. There's the rocket launching off from under the plane. So this is some amazing new technology. These rockets can send satellites up into space. Yeah, this was the thing. This is the guy. There you go. If you go and make yourself loads of money, get a business, become a billionaire, you could have your own rockets flying up into space, which I thought would be really amazing. Ayub saying he heard someone died from the vaccine. There's no evidence of anybody in Britain dying from the vaccine. I did just Google it this morning. It's worth having a real close check onto that. Although there have been some issues in Norway, but we've not had any here. Yeah, evidence is really, really important. That's why you need to get yourself online and find some evidence before we say things. Next, final piece of news. Number 3. Oh no, I was going to say well done to Ava Tabor and Anas who won the prize. I've already said that. I'm going to show some work now that people have been sending in to me. There has been so much good work being done. Remember to pop your names on the top so that I know whose work it is. Lots of people have been working here, so nouns and adjectives. This is Salah, who's been doing work there, doing the table facts. Well done to Salah. We've got Jamila here, who's been working really hard on her plurals and sending that in. Well done to Jamila. Good morning, Miss Duncan. Nice to see you in the chat. Got some more really good work here. Hasn't quite got a name, so I'm not 100% sure whose it is. Let's have a look. What else have we got here? Oh, look at this. Some people did some dinosaur drawings. That is Anas in class 3P. Love those dinosaur drawings, Anas. Really good. Don't forget any artwork that you send in. I would really like to see. This here is by Anas. This is facts about dinosaurs. He's done a whole bit of extra research for us, which is really fantastic. I would love to see some of this stuff. If you are interested in anything, do some research, send it in. We could talk about it a little bit on here. Salah has found out that the first dinosaurs evolved during the middle to late Triassic period, around 230 million years ago. And this was when the Earth was all one big continent. So we didn't have lots of different, like Africa, South America, all that thing. All of the plates on the Earth were together. So it was a very different time in history. More work there by Anas. He's really been sending loads of work in. Good lad. What have we got here? This is Ridwan. Ridwan's written a letter to Mr. Doddridge, which is really good. He's saying thank you to all the work that's been going on at school. He's been talking about how hard lockdown has been, but he's enjoyed doing the work, which is really nice. I've also got other letters. Loads of people sent in some fantastic work and some fantastic letters to Mr. Doddridge. I'm really proud of all of you. So well done. Fantastic. 3 things we're going to do today. Oh, I've got a body next door. One thing I thought in science, we could start having a little look at some body parts, and you can do a little bit of research on that. Sorry, I'm just trying to read some of the work. We're going to look at some body parts. We're going to do English. Today, we're going to look at similes and metaphors. I think most of you know what a simile is, but maybe we're not quite sure what a metaphor is. So we're going to have a little look at that. And in maths today, we're going to have a little look at division. Now, what I'm going to quickly do, in fact, we can do it a little bit later. In a minute, I'm going to run out and get the body. And we're going to have a look at some of the body parts. But first things first, English. And we're looking at similes and metaphors. Similes and metaphors. These are things that really help to enhance our writing. They're things that add more flavor to it, that add a little bit more juicy detail that really helps enhance it. They work fantastically in poems, but you know what? They're really good in just any kind of description of anything, okay? A simile is when we compare one thing to another, okay? So I might say, oh, he's as cute as a kitten. Okay, so I compare one thing to another. Just got Mrs. Duncan here who's handing me a note. Mrs. Duncan, you could do me a one.
Get the body.
It's just next door in that room. I moved it into there. I will say that at the end. Sorry, guys. Yeah, a simile is when we compare one thing to another. So it's not just cute. He was as cute as a kitten. Okay, I like that. What about this? The guy was blind. How blind was he? He was as blind as a bat. Well, that's a good one, isn't it? Because bats, they go out at night. Some bats don't have very good eyesight, so they are pretty much blind. They actually see by making sounds, which is quite incredible. So as blind as a bat, that's a simile. I'm going to do another one. I can see people are already coming up with them. I'm going to give you some in a second. What about this? Ooh, it was cold. It was as cold as ice. As cold as ice, okay? We're comparing one thing to another thing. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you some things to compare now. I'm going to write them down on the board, and I would like you to show me your similes. Because I'm in a new class, I can't see my, here, I found a rubber now. So here are the things I would like you to do. I would like, he is as tall as. I would like, the fur was as white as, what else can we count? Oh, yes. His eyes were as black as, I'll do one more for you. She was as brave as. So you've got 4 here. Sorry if my handwriting doesn't look fantastic. You've got 4 here to have a little go at, or if you just want to give me any old simile, I don't mind. And I'm going to read some of them out. So can you think of he was as tall as? Something to do with how tall he was, something to do with how white something is, how black something is, or how brave something is. Let me have a little look. Okay, I'm going to go through a few of these. So Anjum Kahir said, the Earth's core is as hot as the sun. Remember, what are you comparing? The Earth's core is as the sun? Do you mean as hot as the sun? That would be a good one. Oh, yeah, good. Well done, Ava. As hot as the sun. I love that. Ooh, as hot as melting lava. I love that one. This is really good. As brave as a lion. That is such a good one for brave. I like that. We're not going to do any school on Zoom. No. He was as tall as a tree. Trees are always tall. That is such a good one. Well done. As tall as a tower. Anas, that's not a simile, though. That could be, well, yeah, you're right. It could be. You're right. I'll take that back. It was as blue as a blueberry. Ahil, very good. That's really nice. As tall as a giraffe. As brave as a lion. As tall as a tower. You see, there's not just one answer for these. A lot of people think they don't want to do a simile because they don't know if they've got it right. But already we've had as tall as a tree, tall as a tower, tall as a giraffe. Anything that's always tall that we can compare it to is going to look great in your writing. What else have we got? As hot as chili, Salah. I love that one. That is such a good one. As white as snow. Yeah, a lot of schools do, but we don't. Eyes as sharp. Ooh. For eyes, one as black as. What were his eyes as black as? It's a really good way to describe someone creepy. They've got black eyes. The fur was as white as a teddy bear. Now, the only thing, Marianne, with that one is, are all teddy bears white? When I think of a teddy bear, I think of it as being brown. I can think of a bear that is always white, though. Do you think you could have a go at that one? As scary as a bear. Yeah, bears are definitely scary, Ava. I would not want to come across a bear. They are probably the most powerful animals around. As tall as a tree. We've had that one. That's a good one. As tall as a T-Rex. I love it. Yeah, we all know T-Rexes are big. That's a fantastic one. Well done. As strong as an ox. Brilliant. Children, as loud as a 100% what, though? Brave as a tiger, trying to get her prey. Now, this is a really good one. Who was that by? Roxana Afzal. As brave as a tiger, she didn't stop there. This is what she did. She expanded it. It's not just as brave as brave as a tiger trying to catch her prey. I love that one. Maybe it's not just as tall as a tree. It's as tall as a tree towering in the sky. I used alliteration there. Did you notice that? The fur was as white as a kitten. Are all kittens have white fur? You've got to think, is it always were? Teddy bear. Now, here's one thing. Oh, as tall as the Burj Khalifa. I love that. His eyes were as black as hair. Now, here's the problem. Not all hair is black. Look at my hair is all ginger colored, isn't it? So if I said eyes as black as hair, well, not all hair is black. Some people have blonde hair, ginger hair, blue hair. They dye it, that is. What else have we got? As white as snow. That's good. The bear I was thinking of was, of course, a polar bear. It could be as white as a polar bear, couldn't it? Tall as a horse, brave as a tiger, big as a giant, great as a nerd. I'm not quite sure I get that one, but it's fine. I like it. Polar bear, well done. She got it. Oh, whoa. Do you know what? I haven't been scrolling down. You guys have done so many good ones. Right. We get similes. Done. That's kind of year 2. That's why I'm not spending long on it. This is the new one. This is the important one. These are metaphors. Similes, tick. I'm rubbing it off. Metaphors now. Metaphors are a little bit different. What a metaphor is when you say something is something when it isn't. What? You're saying something is something when it isn't. Let's give you this example. I've got a roller coaster here, okay? Now, I'm going to say, life is a roller coaster. Life is a roller coaster. Now, life isn't actually a roller coaster. We know that. Life is all sorts of different things. What does it mean? I would like you to have a think about this. What do you think it means? Life is a roller coaster. What do we think it means? Let's have a look in the chat if anyone's got an idea as to what life is a roller coaster might mean. Because this is a metaphor. And these are the new, my badge is falling off. These are the new things that I want us to work at. We've got some, not sure, don't worry. We're going to find out. This is our new learning for today. Life is fast. Ahil, I like that one. I'm going to pop that down as a suggestion. It's fast. Life is fast. I like that. Any more? It's a really good one there. Yeah, life is a roller coaster. But what does it mean? Ooh, Dawood Ali. A big journey. That's so good. Big journey. Yeah, being on a roller coaster would be a big journey. Life is not easy, yeah? Well, yeah, making a roller coaster wouldn't be easy. Life, what Ava said, oh, Ava, that is so good. Life has ups and downs. Right, I'm going to pause there because so many of you are coming up. Life can be scary. This is so good. Oh, guys, you're so smart. Life is full of different things, isn't it? Some days we have good days. That's like going up on the roller coaster. Some days we have bad days. Woo! Sometimes we're turning upside down. We don't know what's going on. It can be fun. It can be scary. It goes quick. There's so much detail in that one little word there. Life is a roller coaster, isn't it? Yeah? That is what a metaphor is. It has lots of extra meaning. Life isn't a roller coaster, but we're saying it is because we understand what being on a roller coaster is like. It goes quickly. It's a big journey. There are ups and downs. Okay, I've got another one for you to try now. I'd like to have a go at this. I've got a picture here of a rock. I'm going to say, my friend is a rock. What do you think I mean by that? My friend is a rock. Let's have a look in the chat. What do I mean by that? My friend is a rock. Sorry, my handwriting looks really bad when I look back at it. My friend is a rock. What do I mean by that? Okay, people are saying strong. People are saying very still. Rocks are very still. Would I describe my friend as being a very still person? Crazy, are rocks crazy? I'm going to pop down some words that I like that we've got so far. Some people have said strong. And I think sometimes if I say someone's a rock, that's what I mean. Ayan, oh, that's an interesting one. He thinks a rock might be quite boring. That's an interesting one. I like that one. Calm. I like that. I'm going to write that down. Calm. Hard. Brave. Wonder why we get the word brave from a rock. Unbreakable. Can I put that one down as well? Don't know if you can read all these. Yeah. When I say somebody is a rock, these are the words I'm describing. It's actually a positive thing to call someone a rock. Can you believe it? Yeah, because they're solid, they're tough, they're brave, they're unbreakable. They're always there when you need them. When I think about rocks, they don't move, do they? So I'm not actually saying that my friend's like a snail, he doesn't move much. What I'm saying is if I need him, he'll always be there. It's like that big rock outside. It's always there. Yeah, it doesn't just float away in the wind. It's not like a leaf that's going to fly away with a little gust, is it? Yeah, a rock is dependable. It's always there. Okay, so if I said my friend is a rock, I know that they are always there. Guys, you are so good at these. Shall I put maybe one more for you to try and make a metaphor with? We're going to still do metaphors tomorrow. I'm going to give you one more. I'm going to give you a new picture now. This is your picture. Huh. Ooh, almost fell there. Gosh. What could I make a metaphor out of using that bull there? So we've got a raging bull. I'd like you to try and make a metaphor using the raging bull. Okay? So we've got a raging bull. What could be the metaphor using the raging bull? Up to 74 kids now. That's really good news. Yep, I can see it's a bull. What could we make a metaphor about the bull? What if I said she's like a raging bull? What do you think I mean? Or she is a raging bull, not like, she's a raging bull. She is a raging bull. What do I mean by that? Let's have a look at some of these words that we've got. Maria, I'm not quite sure what that means. A bull, a jumping bull, a brave bull, solid as a bull, yeah. Fat Mohammed, I don't think that's what it means. Abdul here said, gets mad easily. That is kind of what we're going for here. I like that. Yeah, dangerous. I like these words. Yeah, someone who's dangerous, someone who's angry, someone who gets mad easily, someone who's a bit tough but aggressive. Yeah, I think that's the key thing, isn't it? Gets mad is a bit wound up, yeah? If I said she is a raging bull, I'm going to spell here. She is a raging bull. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. She gets mad. She gets wound up. Yeah, she gets aggressive. Okay, whew. I already feel out of breath, partly because I tripped over and really hurt my knee on that table. This is so good, the work that you're doing on metaphors. Honestly, I didn't think you'd be getting it this quick. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. Tomorrow, I'd like you today to go away and find me some more metaphors. And I want you to share them on Google Classroom, email them in. What might be really nice to do is to draw a little picture and then write the metaphor next to it and describe what it means. So a little bit here, like I had a picture of a rock. I said, my friend is a rock, and then I said what it means. So your work is a picture, and then next to it, a metaphor, and what the metaphor means. And I want you to find me as many metaphors as possible. I've given you 3 today. I'd like you to find more. I've got loads more pictures down here full of metaphors, but I'd like you to go away, find them. I bet you hear metaphors all the time, and you don't realize it. For example, has anyone called you a star before? It's a metaphor. You're not actually a star. You're not a big burning ball of gas up in space, are you? Yeah? But it describes something about you. So work, go find some metaphors, draw it down. Can I just remind us before we move on to the next thing, not to put a long sort of emojis and all sorts of rubbish into the chat. Make sure that, imagine you're in a classroom, yeah? The chat needs to be clear. Yeah, there are other teachers on here as well looking, so make sure that you're putting sensible things in. Guys, well done. Metaphors. You know what your task is? I'll write it down somewhere. Go away, draw me a picture, find a metaphor, tell me what it means. Next, we're moving on to maths. You're going to have to bear with me a second whilst I just clear this board up. So let me clear all of these things away. We'll move ourselves on to maths. Clear, clear, clear. Brilliant. Maths. Division. Division is what we are doing today. So obviously the first thing I would like to know is, what is division? So have a little talk in the chat and tell me, what is division? Okay, it's different to multiplication, it's different to addition, it's different to subtraction. It is one of the operations. Yeah, it looks like this, doesn't it? A line with two dots. So what is division? Let's have a little look. It's dividing a number. That's true. But if I asked you what a flibbity-gibbet was and you said it's a flibbity-gibbeting, yeah, I still don't know what it means. I want you to explain to me what is. Oh, someone, Dawud Ali's put opposite of multiplication. I like that. We're going to talk about that in a bit. I'm on your iPod. That's great. The opsithabranchia. Not sure what that means. No, not division. This is how I feel sometimes with division, but don't worry. We're going to try and make it as easy as possible. That's going to be kind of a little focus of ours through this week, is to try and crack division. Splitting a number. The inverse of multiplication, Ayab. Good. I like that one. Very good. Oops. Get rid of that. Inverse of multiply, Attic. Well done. But what does that mean? Dividing a number. Ramin has given us an example. 70 divided by 7 equals 10. But I want to know why it is. Maths, you've already tried, but don't worry. We're going to have a little look at this. Dividing numbers into even groups, splitting into a group. Oh, now this is where we're getting at it, okay? Dividing is absolutely kind of the inverse of multiplication, but it's also when I'm splitting a number into groups. So, for example, let's say I have got, oh, this is not going to stick onto the board very well. Simple question here for you. I've got 4. I want to divide it into 2. Well, how many is in each? So look, I'm going to split my 4 into 2 groups. How many in each group? Equals 2. Okay? I can always check my division question by using the inverse, which means going the other way. So if 4 divided by 2 equals 2, that must mean that 2 times 2 equals 4. Can you see? Imagine there's a mirror in between here. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. That means 2 times 2 equals 4. Right, let's have a look at this with a slightly bigger number, and then I'm going to get you to have a go at some. So let's change my number up a little bit. I'm now going to have 6. Okay? And I'm going to have, oh gosh, these things are just falling off the board. They're not sticking to Mr. Moore's board as well as they stick to my board for some reason. I'm not sure why that is. Okay, this time I'm going to have 6. I'm going to divide it into 3 equal groups. How many are in each group? Well, this is what I do. I say to myself, how many 3s in 6? How many 3s in 6? Oh, look, there's 2 3s in 6. I can check this if I divide it into 3 groups. There's 2 in each. I can use the inverse. 2 times 3 equals 6. When I divide a number, I am dividing them up into equal groups of a number. Please do not spam the chat like that, Anas. Yeah, only put it once. Same with you, Attic. Just put the answer once. Don't spam the chat, please. I am dividing it into equal groups. Let's have a look at a slightly bigger number. I'm not going to put these beads up on the board anymore because it's making it a little bit hard for me. So I take the number 12 divided by 4. This is what I think to myself. I think to myself, how many 4s in 12? How many 4s are there in 12? Let me have a think. How many 4s are there in 12? Oh, yeah. There are 3 4s in 12. So look, 3 times 4 equals 12. So when I say 12 divided by 4, I'm thinking, how many 4s in 12? There's 3 4s in 12. Okay, this is what I'm going to do, because I can see all of you want to answer questions. I'm going to put some simple division questions up onto the board. Through the week, we're going to get harder and harder and harder. We're going to be looking at really complicated division questions by the end of the week, but we always have to start simple to make sure that we understand it. Okay, I'll put a few questions for you on the board. You're going to have answer in the live stream chat. So here's my first one. We'll have 9 divided by 3 equals, we'll have 10 divided by 5 equals, we'll have 25 divided by 5 equals, and we'll have 18 divided by 3 equals. Okay, you've got 4 questions to do on the board. I'll give them a letter, A, B, C, and D. Can you have a little go at each of those, please? So you've got 9 divided by 3, 10 divided by 5, 25 divided by 5, and 18 divided by 3. Keep thinking to yourself, how many 3s in 9? Tell you what you can do. If you go A equals, B equals, C equals, D equals, that way I can understand your answers. Let's have a little look. What are we going? So if you put A equals, B equals, C equals, let's have a little look at those answers. Well done. Yeah, very good. Loads of you doing really well here in the chat. This is really good to see. Yeah, fantastic. Are you okay, miss?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
Brilliant. So many of you are getting this right. You're starting to understand this simple division, aren't you? So let's go through this and let's just check. How many 3s in 9? I think to myself, well, 3 times what equals 9? I'm going to go up in my 3s. 3, 6, 9. Ah, there are 3 3s in 9. So 9 divided by 3 equals 3. Next one, 10 divided by 5. How many 5s in 10? Well, let's count up in 5s. 5, 10. Ah, simple. 2. There are 2 5s in 10. Let's have a look at C. It says 25 divided by 5. So I'm being asked, how many 5s in 25? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. There are 5 5s in 25. Last one. Ooh, now I found this one a little bit tricky because I'm not always good at my times tables. How many 3s in 18? So I'm going to count up. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Phew, I got that. It's 6. Hopefully you don't need to count up, okay? Hopefully you just know the answer just like that. Right. This is what division is. It is the inverse of multiplication. I'm asking myself how many of that number there is in the starting number. I know we've only touched on it slightly today. What we're going to start doing tomorrow, by the end of this week, you're going to be able to do something like this, just like that, okay? But we're just starting simple. Right. I'm going to pause there. I know we didn't do a lot of maths. Don't worry. We're going to build on it. The next thing we're going to do, I'm going to talk to you about your science topic, okay, that we're going to be doing a little look at over this week. Well done, those of you getting that right in the live stream. If you want to send me some division questions, that's absolutely fine. I just want you to understand what it is today so that tomorrow we can move on to something a little bit more complicated. Now, this is what I'm a little bit excited about. I know I'm rushing through because I need to get back to my class. Science, I would like us to have a little look at the body. We're going to be looking at the human body. Ooh, how the human body works. Here is my human body, full of all sorts of exciting things, okay? Can anyone recognize anything on this human body? Can anyone recognize anything on this human body? Ayan, what is so boring? And why are you shouting that out in the middle of a lesson? Huh? Ah, someone has spotted skeleton. Interesting. Ooh. Lungs. Oh, I love some of these words. Yeah, no arms on this one. You're absolutely right. What other things can we spot? Someone has said the heart. I like that. Yeah, missing an eye. Well, this eye's closed, isn't it? That one's closed. Lung, the skull, stomach. Hey, I like this. The bladder. Guys, you know so many parts of the body. This is really fantastic. I'm going to show you something else as well here. I'm going to take off part of their head. I'm going to remove part of the head. Oh, what's inside there as well? Can we see inside? What's inside the head as well? Someone said kidneys. Very good. You can see liver, hips, That's really good. What is this thing that's partly fallen out of their head? What is this inside here? The brain as well, up here. Yeah, that is really good. So we've got a few different body parts, and basically you're going to be doing the research for me this week. You're going to be finding out about different body parts for me, seeing as we've got this thing, and we're going to have a little look and talk at each of their functions. The first thing we're going to look at today is our breathing. And these things here are what we use for our breathing. These are known as the lungs. I'm actually going to remove a lung right now. You're going to see something behind the lung. Behind the lung is the heart, okay? But I'm not going to talk about the heart right now. If you want to know how big your heart is, if you put your fist together like this, that is the size of your heart. Your heart is just on the left side of your body. So it's about the size of your fist. It's right here. It's really important, but we're not talking about that today. We'll come back to that. These things here are called the lungs, and they are really, really important. These are used for breathing. When the human breathes in, you can see up here, this is the mouth. There are two ways to breathe in. We breathe in through our mouth and we breathe in through our nose, okay? These go down through our windpipe. There's a tube that goes all the way down into our body and comes out into these lungs, okay? We'll play countdown another day. What I'd like you to know, what I'd like you to tell me, do you know what the lungs do? So don't just tell me breathing. I know it's how we get the air in, but what's the purpose of the lungs? Do you know? Let's have a little look. Does anyone know what the purpose of the lungs are? This part of the body. Does anyone know what the purpose of the lungs are? Let's have a look. Some people say no, which is absolutely fine. Yeah, we'll be putting some Kahoot and things like that on later. People saying no, not sure. Good. I like this. Not yet. Well done. I don't mind it. You don't know. I'm just wondering if anyone did know. Anyone know? Not sure. Tell you what, I'm going to tell you. The lungs are a really important part of your body. We know that they do breathing, but what do they do? Well, when you breathe, so I'm going to have a really big, here's my mouth up here, goes down into, splits out. I'm going to have two big lungs that look like this. The air fills inside your lungs. And there's this very important thing that we breathe in, known as oxygen. When we breathe in, we take oxygen into our lungs. And I don't know if you can see it, but the lung is absolutely surrounded by blood vessels, okay? Little capillaries, little veins that are going through, all through your lungs. When you breathe in, the oxygen goes into your lungs. What happens then is the red blood cell, so you've got these little things called red blood cells, red blood cell, okay? They pick up the oxygen. Think of them a bit like a bus, okay? They pick up the oxygen, and then they take the oxygen around different parts of your body. Oxygen is a little bit like putting wood on a fire, okay? You need oxygen to stay alive. Just as well, if you're having a fire at home, you need to keep putting the wood on. If the fire is going down, then there's not enough wood, is there? You put more wood in, the fire goes up. When I start exercising, what happens to me when I start exercising? What happens to my breathing when I start exercising? Does anyone know what happens to my breathing when I start exercising? So I start exercising. What happens to my breathing as I start exercising? What happens? Very good. My heart rate goes up. My breathing becomes harder. I'm starting to take more oxygen in. As I start moving around and I start exercising, all the parts of my body start using more oxygen. I start having to breathe more to get more oxygen around my body. The lungs are the way the oxygen gets to your blood vessels, okay? They go onto the red blood cells. The red blood cells then take them around the body. And I've seen some very smart people on here have said, when you've used your oxygen, you give off a gas. So you take in oxygen, and then you give off CO2, known as carbon dioxide. Okay, so a little bit like if any of you got a fire at home, you put the wood in, it helps the fire to burn. But when you finish with the wood, you have all this like black rubbish soot at the bottom. Well, that's actually a kind of carbon as well. So just the same in your body, when you need that exercise, the oxygen comes in through your lungs, and then as it uses the oxygen up, you give out carbon dioxide. Now, luckily, plants are really helpful because plants turn carbon dioxide back into oxygen for us, which is why we need to look after plants as much as possible. Okay, It was a very little short introduction into lungs. Oh, look, if I hold these up just here, these are what the lungs would look like. Can I hold that up like that? Okay, these lungs are what take the oxygen around your body. What I would like you to do then, you've got 2 homeworks for me to do that I would like to show off in tomorrow's video. If you do the work, I'll print it out and I'll show you. The 2 things you need to do. 1, I want you to find some more metaphors. Draw me a picture of something, tell me what the metaphor is. Number 2, I want you to do a little bit of research on the lungs. I want you to tell me, what do these things do? What is the purpose of them? How does the whole oxygen carbon dioxide thing? You're going to find out yourself, okay? We've been doing lots of non-fiction writing, so I'd like it with a title. Tell me what you can find out about the lungs. If you want to do a drawing, that's absolutely fine. We'll have a look at some other body parts as we go along. It's up to you what body parts we look at. I think we can look at the heart next, because that's a really good one. Maybe even look at the brain too. So homework, go and find out what the lungs do. Send that in to me. Homework, go and find out what a metaphor is. You've also got all the work that's been put on the school website today. Last thing before we go that I want to say for you today, Miss Duncan has just reminded me, you all need to sign your name on the class page, okay? A lot of people kind of forgot to do that last week. So when we finish off here, can you go onto the class page? Can you go and sign your name? It would be really helpful if you put your class first, okay? So let's say I'm Dawood Ali. I would go 3J Dawood Ali. If you put your name in first, it really does help us just to work out which classes are registering and which are not. So when you go online, pop your name onto the class pages, pop your email address on. You can write a little note if you want, but I don't think the notes actually come to us. If you want to write as a note, you need to do that onto Google Classroom or send us an email, but Google Classroom is the best way to do it. Does anyone have any questions just before we go? Yusuf, good to see you here. I've done it, message retracted. No more questions. Well, look, well done, guys, for turning up. We got about 75 people today, which is doing good for us. You need to make sure you turn up to these every day, okay? It's a really important part of your education. Tomorrow, we're going to get a little bit deeper into division. Maths can be really scary for some people, but don't worry, I'm going to make it really easy. We know kind of what division is now. We're then going to start dividing bigger and bigger numbers. We're going to be using the number line, the trusty old number line, to help us with that. Firefox, do we have PE? Yeah, PE, if you want to do it, is the Joe Wicks videos that people are asking. So there's Joe Wicks videos on YouTube for PE. You're welcome. Thank you, guys. Bye to you, to everybody. It's really great to see you. We do keep track of everybody who's on here. Yeah, we will really happy that you're doing this and engaging. It will make a huge difference, okay? So bye. I'll see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Can't wait. Bye, guys. See you then.